In the critical moment when the emperor was under attack, the woman selflessly pushed the emperor out of harm's way, but she was hit by an arrow and fell off the cliff. The emperor instantly flew into a rage, his eyes turning red. He vowed to make these assassins pay with their blood. The emperor searched for the woman for a full 6 months, finally discovering her in a village. It turned out the woman was actually the emperor's sister. The emperor was thrilled and wanted to bring her back to the palace, but to his surprise the woman refused on the spot. It turned out after she fell off the cliff she was saved by a hunter. Now the two were husband and wife, and she was even pregnant with their baby. She'd rather live a simple life with plain food and drink, than return to the palace to enjoy wealth and glory. Seeing that persuasion was futile, the emperor could only secretly arrange for people to take care of her husband. This care lasted for a full 10 years. He even let the hunter become a county magistrate. The woman knew in her heart that this was all thanks to the emperor's kindness. Even when her mother-in-law made things difficult for her in every way, she never complained, only wanting to live a good life with her husband and child. She never imagined that on her birthday, her husband took her to a new residence. As soon as she entered, she saw another woman standing beside her husband. The woman instantly understood everything before she could even speak. Her husband then preemptively declared his intention to marry the scheming woman. The woman looked at this ungrateful man, regretting it so much her guts turned green. She had even deliberately prepared the precious sealing clay that only the emperor was allowed to use. In the end, the scheming woman didn't appreciate it, and deliberately smashed the sealing clay, even mocking the gift as shabby, until the scheming woman's father recognized that this was truly the emperor's sealing clay. The scumbag man was afraid of bringing about his own downfall, and hurriedly pushed all the blame onto the scheming woman. Seeing that things were taking a bad turn, the scheming woman's father immediately changed his words and said he had misspoken. As soon as the scumbag man heard it wasn't the emperor's item, he immediately wanted to punish the woman. Their son stepped forward to stop him, but was roughly pushed away. At this point the woman saw through everything, and decided to take her son back to the palace. When the scumbag man heard they were taking their son, he immediately turned hostile, saying the woman was just a country bumpkin, and their son would only have a future if he followed the scheming woman. The woman heard this and thought it was truly laughable. An ordinary rich girl was enough to make him fawn over her like this. If he saw a real princess, wouldn't he have to kneel and lick her shoes? She never expected the scumbag man couldn't understand sarcasm, and even bootlicked, saying the scheming woman was the princess of his heart. The woman didn't want to pay them any mind and turned to leave. The scumbag man immediately ordered people to lock her up. In order to ingratiate himself with the scheming woman, the scumbag man specially invited the best opera troupe to give the scheming woman a princess experience. He even made the woman change into a servant's clothes to serve the scheming woman tea and water. The woman warned them that impersonating a princess was a capital offense, but they didn't take it seriously at all. Even when the woman revealed her identity, no one believed her words. The scumbag man even forced the woman to kowtow to the scheming woman. Their son cried and begged his father, but it only made the scheming woman angrier. She ordered her underlings to beat the woman to death with clubs. The woman thought back to how the scumbag man was when he saved her back then. Compared to now, he was like a completely different person. She finally completely gave up on him. The scheming woman felt this still wasn't enough to vent her anger, and brought over a red-hot branding iron. Amidst the woman's agonized screams, she burned her hands until they were mangled. But what they didn't know was, the emperor remembered today was the woman's birthday, and had specially come to the entrance of the opera troupe. The wicked woman was still in her act and couldn't come out, truly believing herself to be a princess. It wasn't until they heard the emperor had arrived that everyone was stunned.